Hello and welcome, rugby fans, to another edition of the EGRL Rugby League, Elite Girls Rugby League. We are here today with a few matches. Actually, we're going to start out with Morris versus PRUSA, and it is senior day here, so we had some early celebrations, and we're just doing a bit of a mic check at the moment, so just testing the mic, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome to Morris, New Jersey. We're here in Denville, and we will be broadcasting live. This is the first game of the day. It's going to be Morris in black versus PRUSA in blue. Morris coming off a fairly large defeat last weekend against Aspetuck in Connecticut, so looking to bounce back here. Morris will kick off. May Flaherty with ball in hand. Referee Adam Gernstein in the middle. He sometimes gets confused for a high school player due to his massive stature. Everybody's ready to go. There's a reasonable wind kind of blowing across the field, so a little bit more in Morris's favor in the first half. Ball's up. Does not go 10, so we will go back for a tap from the center for play rugby. Ball was collected by Cordon just around the 9-meter line. PRUSA decide to scrum. Watch for Cooley to feature from the 8-man position quite heavily in this game. Good solid runner, very good athlete. We've Burgess to put the ball in. Ball's out. Scrum half makes a little darting move across halfway and is driven back by Petrucci. Ball is available. Morris not contesting the ruck. PRUSA coming across halfway. Ball is taken by DJ Cordon. Waymeyer gets tackled. No full back of measure in the background. Support needs to get there quickly. It does. Morris being driven back, so we're going to have a penalty for Morris. PRUSA has it. They're moving it out the line. Big tackle. Ball comes out, but stays in possession. And again, DJ Cordon stealing the ball from the ruck. She is becoming a jackling specialist. Ball goes back through the hands of Morris. They're not really gaining any meters, but they do have possession. It's been a bit sloppy back and forth so far. Nice movement out to the wing. Ball is knocked on. It's going to be a... Referee says it went straight down, so out to Miller. Miller breaks a couple of tackles. And it looks like that looks to be Kennedy Curry that went down. Actually, no, it's not Kennedy Curry. It is... I don't see the number. We'll come back to it, but she seems to be back on her feet. Lauren Doss. So it is a Morris penalty. They're taking a tap rather than kicking for touch. Morris moving the ball, but not really moving forward. PRUSA keeping the pressure defense on. Fullback is now up in the line. Out to Weinstein. High tackle around the neck, but she seems to be okay. Referee did not see it. Referee is having a word with the PRUSA captain, Cooley. So probably around the number of high tackles so far. There's not any yellow cards or anything at this stage, but it is a warning to the team to get lower in those tackles. So it's going to be a penalty to Morris. Maeve Flaherty puts it up and reaches touch. So we have good view for this line out. We have put in, it's just between the halfway and the 10-meter line. Abby Baratti with the put in. Referee says PRUSA needs to push back. Taken cleanly in the line out by Morris. They move it out the back line. Moving it, but still not running forward, running onto the ball. PRUSA is making some nice tackles. Now the ball squirts out and it goes into touch. So we've been playing everything between the 10s so far. Neither team wants to take control of this game. Good attacking opportunity for PRUSA. Ball's up, and the referee says it's straight. PRUSA on the move. Tackle made by Corridon. Now moving it out the line. They have space on the outside. They have numbers. If they can get that ball out. DJ Corridon steals the ball again for the third time. Breaks a couple of tackles. Support needs to get there. Support does. So Morris get the penalty for the high hit, and DJ Corridon really making an impact so far. Morris kicks for touch. Baratti has ball in hand. Ball's in, won cleanly by Morris. Out to Mignoni. Mignoni spreads it out the back line. Waymeyer. Just through the hands. Morgan on the outside, cleaned up. Nice break by Harper on the outside. Breaks a couple of tackles. That's Harper Carton. Again, nobody seems to want to go beyond the opposing 10-meter line. Ball is not coming out of the ruck. It is available now. So Prusa straight downhill into the Morris half. They set their pod. Ball comes out. They have numbers on the outside. They can just get that ball out. They cut back inside, up to halfway. Mignoni gets her hands in on that ruck. Mignoni has stolen it. Out to Claire Sherrill. Cordon seals. Moving the ball out through the hands. Just going through the gears. Little break through the line, but Prusa bends and doesn't break. And not releasing. Not rolling away. Oh, and then it's just knocked on, and unfortunately, Mignoni tried to take a quick tap and knocked it on in the transfer. Morris really being very menacing around the rucks. Cooley controls the scrum from the back. There's a good likelihood she'll break. Try and gain some meters. Big push before the scrum is set. So it's going to be a penalty to Morris for an early push. Mignoni has ball in hand. Out to Mae Flaherty. And knocked on again by Morris, unfortunately. Francesca Mui. Scrum safety is paramount. Referee is happy. Ball is in. Won cleanly by Prusa. They move it out the back line. And it does go to ground, but still maintained by Prusa. Back to the halfway line. Gaining a few meters. Tackling by both sides has been pretty... Oh, and it's turned over by DJ Corridon again. That's her 4th Jackal steal. Waymeyer bursts through a couple of tackles, brought to ground. So it's going to be another high tackle on PRUSA. And the referee is calling the captain over. I don't know if we're going to have a yellow card. Here we are, yes. So it's going to be a yellow card. I think it's probably a 7-minute yellow, because these are 20-minute halves. Miller charging forward. Ruck is sealed well by Morris. Ball moves out to Maeve Flaherty. DJ Cordon there in support. Just coming up to the 22-meter. So good phase here for Morris. Out to Petrucci, out to Claire Sherrill. Ball is available. Out to Miller. Miller needs to have support. Kennedy Curry is there. It's stolen by PRUSA. Good work by number 3. That's Sakadi. DJ Cordon again goes for the steal. Good work by PRUSA to support the ruck. Out to the wing. PRUSA just taking the meters that Morris has given, keeping the control. Again, good drive by Claire Sherrill through the ruck, driving out a couple of PRUSA players, and now DJ Cordon has the ball. It's again turned over. Little bit of a melee right now. A little bit chippy on both sides. Referee says we'll stop it, we'll settle down. A high tackle on Morris. Cooley puts it a crossfield kick in, collected by Sarkady. Stolen by Miller. Actually stolen by Kennedy Curry. And it's going to be first knock, as the ball did go to ground after. So it's going to be a Morris scrum. PRUSA, referee not happy with scrum. So we're going to have a put in again. Number 24, Burgess with the put in. It hasn't been the cleanest of games so far from both sides. It's early in the season, both teams trying to feel each other out. A lot of new players on both sides. Referee again says scrum is not correct. Gets it reset. PRUSA is playing a person down from a yellow card. There's about maybe 3 minutes left on that. Ball is in. It's cleanly out this time. Burgess breaks from the back, spreads it out the back line. Ball is knocked on, unfortunately. So it's going to be a scrum to Morris. Right on the 22, right on the 10 meter. It is a beautiful day here in Denville, New Jersey. There is no score so far. And this game has really been between the 10 meter lines of both sides. I don't think there's been more than one opportunity for either team to get past that. And that was a breakaway by DJ Corridon from Morris. Ball is available. Corridon digs it off the back and breaks to the weak side. Mignoni out to Petrucci. Petrucci marches forward. Good support by Waymeyer. Out to Curry. Curry breaks the gain line. A bit better here by Morris. Good tackle by Cooley. Morris gaining some meters now. Defense is really solid by PRUSA. DJ referee blows the whistle, and it's going to be another conversation with the captain from PRUSA. It's another yellow. Mignoni with ball in hand. Looks like Morris are going to try and move. Miller is ready. Met with big resistance from PRUSA. PRUSA is now down to 13 players. Ball is available. It's out to Petrucci. Petrucci cuts back inside. Still maintaining her feet. Actually, it's Scarlett Weinstein now. Out to Flaherty. Petrucci, unfortunately, knocks it on. And that's going to be half. So no score in the first half. A little bit of back and forth. Both teams really trying to find their way and find the holes. You can see it's kind of an early season game with the level of high tackles and just not as clean and crisp as you would like with the passing. But as the game has gone on, it's really starting to get a bit better. So we will take a little break and we will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, so we did get some clarification from the referee. It's 5-minute yellow, so PRUSA has 2 yellows currently. One is actually ready to come back in, so they're down to 14 players. No score so far. It's really been between the 10s. And Morris starting to make a little bit of headway, a little bit better connections. And we'll see what the second half brings. Wind has died down. PRUSA will kick off. It's going to be Cooley, the captain. Ball's up, deep kick. Fielded, unfortunately, not cleanly by Morris. It's going to be advantage for a knock-on. Actually, referee is letting Morris play. They got away with a knock-on there. Curry out to support is there. Good rocking, good counter-rocking by PRUSA, but it looks like Morris is going to maintain the ball. Morris trying to break that gain line. Chipping away. Referee says penalty, playing the ball on the ground. Out to Miller. Miller attacks straight downhill. Sports there. Mignoni digs it out. Flaherty out to Cordon. Cordon, a little pop to Claire Sherrill. Makes some good meters up to the halfway. And then is knocked into touch by PRUSA. So it looks like it's going to be a Morris line out. Morris going with the shorter line out. Actually, they've changed their minds now. They're going with the full complement. You've got Cordon at the back. Baratti, ball in hand. Doesn't look like PRUSA is matching the numbers in the line out. Ball's up. Looks to be won by Morris. And we're going to have a penalty for hands in ruck. PRUSA is hurting themselves at this point. Some unnecessary penalties. Mignoni gets the team set. Taps out to Flaherty. Flaherty out to Kennedy Curry. Miller in support. Ball's out. Flaherty makes a little cut. Waymeyer. There's numbers on the outside. Weinstein has some room. Good work by DeMarco. Out to Harper on the outside, knocked into touch. That's Harper Carlton. Sorry, Harper Carton. A new player for Morris this season. Has some good wheels. It's going to be a PRUSA line out. Cooley with the put in. So Cooley is playing the back of the scrum at 8. And is also doing all the kicking and line-out throws. So she's trying to take all of the jobs. Has a lot of experience. Deep ball. Taken cleanly by PRUSA. Well tackled by Cordon. PRUSA working their way to the halfway line. Ball out to Cooley. Tackled by Waymeyer. Brought to ground just over the half. PRUSA has numbers on the outside. Goes to their first pod. Good meters gained. Ball's moving out the back line. Oh, nice little cut through. Gain of about 10 meters. Morris giving up some meters on this drive. PRUSA just going through the phases. Taking what the defense is giving them. Waymeyer gets her hands in and is driven off. So we're going to have a high tackle. The referee was playing advantage. High tackle for PRUSA. Not sure which Morris player had the high tackle, but Cooley taps. Spreads it out. That's Kante. And looks like we're going to have a warning for Morris. The referee is going to the pocket. And it's going to be Amelia Wolf. So PRUSA is back to full strength, and Morris is now down to 14 for the third yellow card of this game. And it really hasn't been a dirty game in any way. It's just, it has been a little sloppy on the technical side of things. Tackles have been high, and you know, it's really something that the referee is trying to control. PRUSA trying to knock on the door. They're inside the 10 meter, working their way towards the goalpost. Driving to the line. And it looks like they're right there on the line, and it looks like it is turned over. Oh, no, that's a score. So PRUSA, good job going through the phases, keeping the ball tight. Good support. Tackling was solid by Morris, but just PRUSA was a little bit too strong. We do have a PRUSA player down. Beautiful day for rugby. So that's the first time either team has been inside the 22, and that's a try for PRUSA, so it's 5-0 with the kick to follow. We'll try and get a name on the try scorer. Kicks up and just push past the post. So remains 5-0, PRUSA. We'll try and get confirmation, but it looks like Kante on the score. Deep kick by Morris straight up the middle, fielded well by PRUSA. Morris allowing the ruck to settle. Good drive forward by PRUSA. Just dragging bodies and stolen by DJ Cordon again. Cordon is trying to put this Morris team on her back. Fighting for every meter. I think that's probably the 8th or 9th turnover by Cordon. DJ is a breakdown specialist. Out to Maeve Flaherty, puts it to the boot. Doesn't find the desired target. It is bouncing around a little bit, cleaned up by Claire Sherrill. Break by Leah DeMarco off the side. Supports there. Morris trying to move it out the line. Out to Petrucci, to Harper Carton. And unfortunately, PRUSA dives on the rock. So it's going to be a penalty to Morris. Mignoni. Out to Weinstein. Weinstein. Forward into contact. Out to Kennedy Curry. Just a little high. Bounces backwards. Leah DeMarco cleans up. Morris still maintaining pressure. Oh, and a breakaway by Mignoni off the back. Gains about 10 meters. And looks like she's going to go in to score. Great job by Mignoni. Caroline's two older sisters, former Morris players, moved on to Harvard. Mignoni saw a little gap and was very opportunistic. Had to break a couple of tackles. Wasn't an easy run at all by any means. With the kick to follow. So it's tied up at 5-all. Some better continuity from Morris on that series. Probably about 6 or 7 phases. Moving the ball well. Our camera girl says 6-7. Keely Hearn on camera. The kick is up and the kick is good. Flaherty adds the extra 2. So it's 7-5 Morris. So Morris is now back to full strength. And PRUSA is back to full strength. As I said earlier, there's been 3 yellow cards in this match. And mainly just because of some high tackles, more on technique than any malicious play at all. Kicks up by Cooley. Morris take it up to the 10-meter. PRUSA playing the ball on the ground. It's going to be a penalty again. So if PRUSA can clean up those minor penalties, referee says back to the spot. Mignoni says okay. Ball's tapped out to Flaherty. Leah DeMarco. Turned over. Ball was played on the ground. The referee did not see it. Ball is out to 23. That is Tay. Tay drives forward. Again, Cordon getting her hands in there on the ruck. And again, Cordon. Actually, sorry, that's Petrucci. Petrucci on the turnover. Clearance kick does not reach touch. Chased by Weinstein, and that's number 25, Quindle, up to halfway. We do have Tay down on the sideline over here. Hey, stay down. Tay works her way back towards the action. Still doesn't look to be in good shape, but is back to her feet. Morris trying to work their way up to the 10 meter. Flaherty spreads it out to Waymeyer. Morris moving the ball well, but not really gaining any meters. DeMarco calling for it. Petrucci on the outside. Trying to find a hole. Good support by PRUSA. So PRUSA again punished for their work around the ruck. It's just a little bit sloppy. They're giving Morris way too many opportunities. Flaherty puts it to the air, and it's going to be knocked on by Cooley. So good advantage from the kick. It's going to be a scrum to Morris. Flaherty trying to change the defensive structure, putting the kick over the top. The PRUSA fullback is playing quite high, so there are opportunities. And unfortunately, Cooley tried to catch it over the shoulder. Mignoni puts the ball in. One cleanly. Flaherty. DeMarco. And let's wrap around with Weinstein out to Petrucci. Out to Carton. Carton has some space in front of her. Makes a nice break down at the touchline. Gets tackled, but maintains good body position. Carton helped to her feet by Petrucci. Mignoni drives on. Couple of players down, one from each side. Hole found by Maeve Flaherty. She cuts right through the middle, and then nobody's going to catch her. She scores under the post. Flaherty has been kind of playing the rope it up. She's been giving those soft little passes to her partner in crime, Weinstein, so far in this game. And then the defense drifted, and she saw it and just took off. Good 50-meter run, scores under the post. And now she has to catch her breath and go for the conversion. Good phase by Morris. Nice run by Harper Carton down the sideline. Petrucci was there in support, multiple phases. And it's all actually started with Petrucci getting the ruck over and getting the jackal and stealing the ball back inside the Morris 22. About 10 phases later, Flaherty takes the space, takes off, and adds the extra 2. So that's going to be 12-5. Actually, sorry, it's 14-5. Morris has gotten both conversions. Cooley likely to put this deep. And just as I say that, the ball does not go 10. Now it does. The ball did go 10. Petrucci calling for a knock, but referee's whistle did not blow. It is turned over. Penalty on Cooley for not releasing in the tackle. Quick tap taken out to Miller, back from her yellow. Mignoni out to Flaherty. Flaherty gives it to Claire Sherrill, tackled into touch. So it's going to be a line out for PRUSA just around the 10-meter inside the Morris half. Cooley gets set. Short line out, and the referee says it's not straight. So it's going to be a scrum to Morris. PRUSA trying to take that short line out and gain some meters up the sideline, but unfortunately, ball was not straight. Beautiful day for rugby, nice breeze. Mid-60s, doesn't get any better. Mignoni has it, kicks it out into touch, and that will be the game. So Morris takes this one in a really solid battle from PRUSA. Score 14-5, and we are going to have another couple of games today. We're going to have up next Downingtown versus PRUSA, I think, and then the final game of the day will be Downingtown versus Morris. So we will circle back in a few minutes. Welcome back. We're going to have game two. It's going to be Downingtown, Pennsylvania for what will be their 7th match of the season. They should be pretty crisp. They're just coming off an Ireland tour where they went 6-1. So they should be pretty locked in. Many seniors on this team. And then they're going to be up against the PRUSA side who just came off a tough battle against Morris. So I would imagine that this might be a high-scoring affair, but we'll see. We will circle back in a couple of minutes. And away we go. PRUSA fields just on their own 22. That's number 7, Fosu. PRUSA in the dark blue and Downingtown in the slightly lighter blue. As I said earlier, Downingtown coming off a 6-1 record where they were just on a full tour of Ireland, so they did very, very well up there, so they should be pretty crisp. Ball goes to ground, but referee says straight down. Ruck is sealed, ball's out. Is available. PRUSA is a little bit flat. Their pods are not really taking too much shape so far. I'm wondering, are they a little bit tired from that battle against Morris a few minutes ago? We're going to have a knock on in the back line. So it's going to be a good opportunity for Downingtown. Right on the 22, right in the middle of the goalpost, we do have a player down, number 7, Fasu. So the referee says it is a knock. It's going to be a scrum to Downingtown. Downingtown are going to be looking to challenge Doylestown for the state championships in Pennsylvania this season. Kayla Cathy breaks off the back, spreads the ball out to McGettigan. McGettigan heading towards the line, out to the wing. That's number 14. Ball is available. Cathy takes it off the ruck, trying to get to the goal line. Referee is looking for... Oh, and it's turned over. Good work by PRUSA. They tried to push up the sideline. Swarmed by Downingtown. So Downingtown turned it over in contact on the goal line. PRUSA trying to get the ball out of the ruck. Oh, and it's stolen by McGettigan. McGettigan pushes for the corner and is driven out into touch. Little bit of back and forth down in the corner. Good solid defense by PRUSA. So this will be our first line out of the morning between Downingtown and Play Rugby. Cooley with ball in hand. Slight breeze blowing in towards the goal. Ball is won by PRUSA. It is available on the ground, and it looks like Downingtown have dove on it. They're trying to get it over the goal line. Referee is trying to get a good angle to view. Working their way in. And it looks like they're right there, and it's going to be a try. Downingtown draws first blood. We'll try and get a name on the try scorer in a second. It's going to be McGettigan with the attempt for after points. And the scorer was Jakara Dixon, the prop. Some really good work by the Downingtown pack. McGettigan lines it up. Kicks up. And just pushed past the post. The referee says that it was actually between posts. My bad. So it is 7-0. Downingtown off to a good start. Cooley with ball in hand. Get it restarted. PRUSA is ready. Downingtown is ready. Cooley looks to make sure everybody is behind her as she gets ready to kick. Puts it just over the 10-meter line. Fielded cleanly. Downingtown gets to the rock in support. Set their pod. Dixon trying to find a hole. Ball is out to the back line. Switch. Cleaned up. Out on the wing by number 14, McNamee. Makes her way up to the halfway. That's McGettigan. Older sister playing at Brown University. Downingtown just over the halfway. Trying to find a hole. That's number 6. That is Medorsky. Aaron Medorsky coming off an early season territorial championships down in Florida, playing for the Eastern States Storm, which I think the Eastern States Storm did take the championship down in Florida for the territorials. Ball goes into touch. Right on the halfway. And it's going to be a play rugby put in. Ball is bobbling around a little bit, cleaned up, and referee is going to bring it back for a knock-in. It's going to be a play rugby put in on the scrum, just inside their own half. So again, maybe the wind is affecting things a little bit. Passing is going a little awry at times. Ball's in. Scrummy digs it out. Downingtown, full pressure by Ms. Cridge. Play rugby trying to get some momentum going. Ball goes through the hands. It's a little loose on the ground. Play rugby does maintain possession. It's about 4 phases in. Just trying to get some green space in front of them. Good solid defense by Downingtown. Now there's some space on the outside if they can get the ball out. Cooley has it. Gives a nice little dish. There is numbers on the outside. Some good work by play rugby. Big drive off the ruck. And referee says that's going to be a penalty. Ball is up. Does not reach touch. Takes a nice bounce if you're Downingtown. It is cleaned up by play rugby. She is a little bit alone, and now it's turned over. Downingtown have it. That's number 14, McNamee. And it's going to be a penalty to Downingtown. And Downingtown get it in under the post. Couple of PRUSA bodies lying on the ground in different positions. So that's going to make the score 12-0. Not sure who got that try. Try was scored by number 8, Eva Markai. Goes for her own conversion. Just pushes it wide. So the score will remain 12-0 in favor of Downingtown. PRUSA make their way back to halfway. I'm being joined by DJ Corridon.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. It's a good day for rugby.
It is. It's nice weather.
So you're just coming off a win against Play Rugby in the first game of the day.
Yeah, it was a really tough game, but I'm super proud of my team.
What are you seeing so far in this game?
Well, what I've been noticing a lot is that it's pretty much just contact versus contact. Both teams have a lot of. As soon as I say contact, we go with some speed.
And that is number 12.
Faye Colombo. That was a great run. She was able to turn her shoulders to get through the defenders.
Yeah, Colombo broke off a good 35 meters there.
Ooh, ball's free. It was a good heads-up play by Play Rugby to try and kick it away so that the other team couldn't get it. But that's a problem that's been happening all day. Play Rugby has been having a hard time staying on sides, and it's costing them a lot.
Yeah, they're just kind of giving up some critical penalties.
Little contest in the ruck just to kind of test out. A nice punch and go right there.
Kathy brings it forward. Out to McGettigan. Goes through the hands of Dixon.
Ball recovered. Running through. It's number 18, David Hescher. Looks like Downingtown's really trying to get the ball out to their wings and utilize their speed, but they also have really strong forwards. I think if they're able to get the ball out a bit more, they'll see the gaps. Right now, it seems like they're running right back into the contact area.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to soften up the PRUSA defense inside and then get that ball out to their speedsters. I
mean, it seems to be working. They're getting lots of meters. It was a big, hard run by Downingtown.
Out to the back line, McGettigan has it.
McGettigan's got that sharp pass that she's able just to get to her teammates and not leave the ball hanging in the air, which is helpful.
Yeah, she really makes sure she's got those shoulders pointed downfield. It's Dixon on the carry.
Offload. They're doing a great heads-up job of keeping that ball alive. Yeah. Seems like they're going to use it, try and put it in the corner. I think they're just a little short of the try line. They're going to try and punch it in, and that's a score for Downingtown.
Downingtown adds a third try. That's going to be 17.
Seems pretty much like a really good team try there. Can't quite see the number, but it was really good heads-up work just to go after the corner as they were set up, ready to kind of take it where the tap and go was.
Yeah, Medorsky was the ball carrier on the phase before. I'm not sure if she was able to get over that line. Medorsky coming off a nice early season championship win down in Florida, which you were actually part of that team as well. for the
Oh, yes.
Eastern States.
I was. It's quite a fun tournament.
Darcy is going to take her rugby talents to New Haven next year.
Yeah, they'll be lucky to have her. She's a really good heads-up player. She kind of can play, and the kick was good.
Kick from the sideline is good, and that is number 15, Frogan. She jumps in the air, very happy with herself.
Yeah, that's a challenging kick to make from over there.
Absolutely. That makes the score 19-0. And, you know, I'd say you guys probably softened up play rugby a little bit. It was a very physical game. So I would imagine that they're probably a little bit tired going into the second half here.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they also use a lot of their forwards and a lot of stuff. So when your forwards are weak, it kind of dampens the whole defense. So I think if they can kind of just stay a bit more connected and have a bit more communication, then I think they could get something going.
Ball's up, does go 10. It is knocked on.
So we'll have a scrum.
Not too much kicking in either game so far.
Yeah, I think it could be really useful today, seeing that a lot of fullbacks on all of the teams here today kind of stay up a bit higher, so it could be quite useful. But I don't know. I think everyone's a bit more worried about like physical running into each other today. I've seen every team be very physical, and I think if the teams utilize more of their backs, it would be quite helpful.
Yeah, I would expect Cooley to maybe break off the back and get that ball moving out the back line. Cooley is always very solid in contact. Good scrum by Downingtown, but it is won by PRUSA. Cooley does break off the back. Takes a couple of bodies to get her down. And it's going to be a penalty for not releasing. PRUSA slow everything down. Tap out to Faye. Faye cuts back inside, takes a few players to bring her down. Support is a little late in getting there. So it looks like Downingtown has turned it over.
Taking it up the middle, trying to draw in defenders, weaken up that defense. There's quite a few gaps, so I think if Downingtown's able to get the ball out a bit faster, they can utilize the gaps on the wing.
A lot of space behind the PRUSA defense. The fullback is playing very high. And just as I say that, McGettigan sees it, puts the ball up into the air, takes a bounce.
That chase was really good too. Can't have a good kick without a good chase, and that was really like a good example of it. Able to put the PRUSA defense on their or offense on their back foot.
Yeah, put Downingtown into the PRUSA 22. PRUSA trying to work their way out.
Seems like both teams are kind of bunched up in the same area.
Yeah, they really want to make it a battle of the forwards.
They really do. Let's play rugby. Kind of going right back into the contact area, keeping that ball bunched up.
Downingtown just kind of killing the clock here. Happy to let this kind of wind down. Oh, they've turned it over. Good drive by Akila Cathy. Ball's moving out the back line. They have numbers on the outside if they can get the ball out there.
Great hands by number 13.
Number 13 does not have a name.
She does not. But that was great hands there, making sure that ball stayed. Looks like it'll be a score for Downingtown.
I think that was number 14, the winger, McNamee. second, if I'm not mistaken. 22-0.
If I was playing rugby right now, I would be talking about spacing a lot because I think that's where they're kind of losing Downingtown on their big gaps because they have their winger all by themselves out there and not really having any help, and it's just kind of resulting in a hard time for them.
Yeah, it's they're bunching up a little bit in those defensive situations, and then there's massive space on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like the kick by McGettigan was short. And I think that'll make it halftime.
Yeah, so we will take a little break, and we will be right back. We have a switch in referees as we get ready to kick off for the second half. Downingtown is up. It is 24-0.
I'm back. How to get the blood cleaned up off my leg.
Good stuff. Joined here by DJ Cordon, Morris Jr.
I am a junior.
PRUSA, number 8. Cooley getting ready to get us started. Downingtown have been pretty impressive, coming off a tough match against Doylestown last week. I think they lost by, just so they lost by over 50 points. Just as Morris had a tough battle against Aspetuck last week.
Wow, splicing runs there by Modorsky. Just being able to break through those players.
Modorsky is a very, very smart player. Been playing for quite a few years.
Yeah, it looks like Downingtown just got these perfectly timed passes that they're just able to keep their spacing and keep working down the field slowly. Because right now, in their mind, they're probably thinking to slow the game down a bit.
Just as you say that, just like the first half, there's a breakaway. I think you're becoming a...
Yeah, I think so. Jinx. Looks like it was a breakaway by number 8.
Markai.
Oh, looks like they got...
Takes the tap, spreads it out to McGettigan. They're looking for the back line. She's calling them up. Centers into contact. Downingtown sets their shape again, working it back towards the open side.
I have to go warm up.
For joining us, DJ. DJ now has to go warm up for her next match. Nice break by Downingtown. Being quite patient. Kathy bursts through. She's just knocking on the door. Ball is turned over. She outstretched. Unfortunately, support didn't get there in time, and PRUSA were able to turn it over. So they will try and clear their lines. Out to Faye. Big tackle by, looks to be McGettigan. And ball goes to ground, but a referee says it's backwards, so we're playing on. Trying to get some meters. And Cooley sticks it to the boot and gets it out into touch. Really nice clearance by Cooley. Not too many options, and Downingtown's fullback was actually playing up quite shallow because that was actually the first kick of the day from open play from PRUSA. Again, the captain, Cooley, kind of doing it all. Still a good attacking platform for Downingtown. They have a lot of speed in their back line. And it is knocked on. So it's going to be a scrum to play rugby. Beautiful day for rugby. Wind dies down. Play rugby will be looking to move the ball a little quicker through the hands, try and get some points on the board. It is 24-0. Big push on the scrum by Downingtown. Ball is out. It's put to the sky. takes a favorable bounce for the Downingtown fullback, cuts back upfield. She has numbers on the outside if they can get that ball moving. And they go back to the other side. Big tackle by PRUSA. Now they give it to Kathy. Kathy knocks it on, unfortunately, in contact. Ball was just a little behind her as she ran onto it. Cooley off the back, misses the 10. Good ruck over by Play Rugby. Downingtown with a smothering defense. Good job by the winger to maintain possession, break a couple of tackles. Unfortunately, the handoff to Faye wasn't clean. But the ball did go backwards. So Play Rugby try attack again, working their way towards the middle. Ball is on the ground, broke through. That's McGettigan. She's going to score just to the left of the post. So ball went to ground, and McGettigan just caught it on the bounce and burst right through for a 30-meter run. McGettigan is a very opportunistic player, and if you give her any space at all, she's definitely going to make you pay. So that adds another 5. That's going to be 29-0. Play Rugby, we're going through the phases. They had some good solid work, some good connections, some good continuity. Unfortunately, once the ball did go to ground, McGettigan was there to scoop it up and take off. We'll have the conversion attempt by number 8, Ava Markai. She puts it over, so that adds another 2. That's going to be 31-0. Play Rugby definitely tired after the first match against Morris, which was a very, very physical battle on both sides. And this one has been just as physical. Downingtown moving the ball a little bit more to the outside, so Play Rugby having to cover more ground. Airs on you after a while. Cooley puts it to the air. Goes straight up the middle, out to Kathy. Takes a couple of bodies to get her to the ground. Downingtown dig it out. Medorsky creates some space. Out to Mackay. Medorsky there to seal. Kathy comes in behind. She's going to go. Gets up to the halfway. Play Rugby getting a lot of body sucked into those rocks, which is going to create space on the outside. Downingtown just moving the ball through the lines. And we're going to have a penalty for playing ball on the ground. McGettigan has ball in hand. She'll kick for touch. It does reach. And it's a really good kick into that little bit of a wind. So it's going to be a Downingtown line out on the 10-meter line. Both teams are playing this pretty straight up. Some 3-person pods going straight into contact and just trying to create some space on the outside. Downingtown probably a little bit more connected, a little bit less tired. They've had a fairly busy early season so far, playing in Ireland. Some of their players played down in Florida early in February. So they do win it. They're moving it out the back line. Ball goes through the hands of McGettigan. Cleaned up by Progan. McGettigan dances a little bit through the contact. Gets a couple of meters. Ball is turned over and referee says not releasing. So we're going to have a penalty for Downingtown. There's a lot of space on the outside if they move the ball. They're going to put it in the hands of McGettigan where she's going to slow it down and going to kick for touch again. Ball does reach touch. That puts Downingtown on the attack just around the 22-meter. Ball is up, one cleanly. Downingtown gets the maul rolling. Good defense by PRUSA. They've been able to push it back, and we're going to have a penalty. Not sure what the call was, but it's going to be another penalty for Downingtown. So PRUSA not doing themselves any favors. Looks like we're going to run this one. Medorsky has it in hand. Straight up the field. Sucks in a few play rugby athletes. Now they spread it out the back line. Little bit of an errant pass. Progan has it. Unfortunately, goes to ground. It's going to be a knock on. So just not clean enough on the transitions, unfortunately. Definitely hampered by a good, solid play rugby defense. Play rugby just trying to get out of their own half, get a score before the end of this match. Not too much left, maybe a couple of minutes. Referee is happy with the scrum. It does wheel a bit, but the ball is out. Unfortunately, it's knocked on, and it's going to be an advantage to Downingtown. They have numbers outside. Medorsky takes it, turns the corner, breaks the tackle, puts it out. Progan has it. Progan dances her way into the corner. She's knocking on the door. They've massive numbers on the outside if they can get that ball moving. Big drive by Downingtown, driven back by PRUSA. Now they move it out the backs. They've got 3 or 4 overloads. Unfortunately, the transition wasn't clean again. That wind seems to be giving a little bit of hardship to the back line. And it's going to be a scrum to PRUSA. So good defense by PRUSA. They're not quitting for sure. It is 32-0, but they're not hanging their heads. This is PRUSA's second match of the day. Next up, we will have Morris versus Downingtown. Would be nice to see PRUSA break off a nice run for a try. They certainly deserve it after the effort they've been putting in. But definitely not going to get anything cheap from this Downingtown side. Downtown makes a change with number 19, Marlin, coming in on the wing. PRUSA trying to work their way out, going into contact. Referees keeping Downingtown onside. Ball is out. Running back into contact again, just trying to get some meters, just work their way out so they have an opportunity to kick. Progan is back waiting for that kick. We're going to have a knock on, so that pressure defense from Downingtown pays off. It's going to be a scrum, a really good attacking position on the 5 meter line just to the right of the post. Downingtown overloads the back line. Wouldn't be shocked to see Kathy off the back. It's a really good position. And Downingtown, yes, Kathy comes off the back. She's trying to get to that line. Out to Medorsky. Medorsky's driven out. Downingtown just knocking on the door. And it looks like they've gotten in. They'll put another 5 on the board. $39-0. Not sure who got that score. That was in the far corner, far away from our prying eyes. But some really good work by Downingtown. Very, very patient. Just went through the phases, worked the ball between the forwards and the back line, and eventually got the scrum just to the right of the post. Kathy breaks off, and back line goes with her. Kathy with the conversion. Kicks up. And it kicks good. That may be the 5th or 6th different kicker that Downingtown has put out today. And that was a really, really nice strike by Akila Kathy. Adds another 2. So we're probably down to the waning moments. Maybe less than a minute left. It's not too often you see your front row making the conversions. They're usually not allowed to kick. Really nice job by Akila Kathy. And speaking of forwards, here's Cooley with ball in hand, about to get us started. High bounding kick, not fielded cleanly. Looks like it did go to ground. It's going to be a scrum for knock on. PRUSA with not too many opportunities left to put some points on the board. Getting directing traffic in the back line. Frogan sits in behind her in the fullback position. Ball is won cleanly by PRUSA. Just start to make their way forward. A little bit flat on their pod. Ball comes out. Good drive on. Shoulders downfield. They're set again. Trying to get around that corner. Trying to the ball is stripped. And it's going to be not releasing. So it's going to be a penalty for PRUSA. Probably maybe the last opportunity of the game here to get a score. Cooley takes the tap, spreads the ball out. Making their way forward. Just outside the 22. They have a pod set to the left and to the right. They decide to truck and go from the back. Cooley takes it a couple of meters forward. She's got support. Just trying to get that contact. They're going to go off the back again. Support gets there. Just keep driving. They're getting a couple of meters every time. May as well just keep going. They really can't let the ball stop. Now they spread it out the back line. Pods get set again. Out to the wing. PRUSA really working hard, trying to get some forward momentum. And that's number 3. That is Sarkodie. PRUSA just trying to punch a hole through. Their pod is set again. They have numbers on the outside if they can get that ball out there. And they do, and it cuts back inside. The defense of Downingtown has been solid, but PRUSA starting to find some holes. They're knocking on the door. They're about 2 meters out. Cooley has it, ball in hand. They're not giving her any room. She's trying to make her way down. They're trying to hold her up. She's trundling forward. She does get to ground. She does get it down. So, well-deserved try by Cooley. Kimora Cooley had to really put the team on her back and punch it in there. It was really good work by PRUSA. Went through probably 17 or 18 phases to get that try. So it's not a shutout. Cooley will now convert. Conversion is up, and it's good. She decides not to use the tee, and that's going to be the end of it. So it is going to be a nice, solid win from Downingtown. It's going to be 42-7. Good job by PRUSA to not give up, but just Downingtown just a little bit too strong. Next up, we're going to have probably a little bit of a break, and we will have Morris versus Downingtown in the last match of the day. We'll be back shortly. Coming on to our last feature match of the day, this is going to be Downingtown versus Morris. Downingtown had a really impressive performance against Play Rugby. They won 42-7, and Morris had a win against Play Rugby also. So this is going down for a nice little showdown to end the day. And Downingtown will come back tomorrow and play Aspetuck. And they're going to play at Morris's home field just because it's kind of halfway between both teams. So Morris is happy to host. Downingtown have taken the field. We're just waiting for Morris to finish their signature chant. Downingtown is ready. Morris is getting ready. Flaherty has ball in hand and looks to kick it into the wind to get started. Ball's up. It is fielded, bobbled but fielded cleanly. And now it's free. Morris has on the attack. Out to Weinstein. Weinstein goes into contact. DJ Cordon drives off the poacher. Good run down by Kennedy Curry. Out to Weinstein again. Weinstein gets swallowed up by 3 or 4 different players. DJ is not taking any prisoners around these rucks. Flaherty. Out to Izzy, a new player for Morris this year. Good attack so far by Morris. Flaherty spreads it out to DJ Cordon. DJ tackled by 2 players. Weinstein is there to protect. Mignoni digs it out. Spreads it out to Flaherty, who's on the move. Flaherty gives it space. Good hands by Tory Waymeyer. Waymeyer swallowed up by 3 or 4 Downingtown players. Morris tries to spread the field. Mignoni goes back to the short side. Baratti driven back. Mignoni out to Scarlett Weinstein, who takes a couple of players to drag her down. Mignoni steals off the base. Out to Petrucci. Petrucci cuts back inside. Petrucci is knocking on the door. And it's going to be held. It's going to be a penalty on Morris for not releasing. So good series by Morris. Unfortunately, the penalty for not releasing. Good ruck defense by Downingtown. Downingtown, nice clearance up to about just around the 10-meter line. Some really good work by Morris so far, just not coming away with any points on that drive. Izzy Nagel joins the line out. Ball's up. It's fielded cleanly by Downingtown. Spreading it out the back line. Little switch in the middle. Into traffic. Out to the pack. Oh, and it's turned over. Unfortunately, it went through the hands. Out on the wing. It was turned over by Maeve Flaherty. And unfortunately, he was knocked on the wing by Morris's number 19. Danya. Downingtown with a clean scrum off the side. Keela Cathy. Referee says release. DJ Cordon gets the hands off. Now Downingtown spreads it out. They've got space and numbers on the outside. Fogan, unfortunately, he was dropped in contact, but it went backwards. Working their way up to halfway. Dixon. Ball is available. Downingtown really working the edges. Morris' defense has been solid. Downingtown is trying to find their space. And we're going to have a penalty for not rolling away. Or hands in ruck, actually, sorry. McGettigan puts the ball into touch with a really nice kick. Sets up a line out for Downingtown just on the 22-meter. This will be Downingtown's first foray into Morris's half. Morris looking a lot more crisp in this second game of the day. Ball's in, they go short in the line out, and the referee says it is knocked on, so it's going to be a scrum to Morris. Mignoni with ball in hand. Referee is happy with the scrum. Good push by Downingtown. Mignoni gets it out to Flaherty. Flaherty sees a hole, breaks through the middle. She needs to get support there. Weinstein is there with her. Mignoni has it. Gets a few meters herself. Petrucci there in support. Mignoni digs it out, goes through the hands of Baratti, but goes backwards. Curry has it, just unfortunately just knocks it on in the transfer. Good recognition of space by Flaherty. Take that ball up, and the support was there by Mignoni and Weinstein. Good drive by DJ Cordon to take the winger, number 14, out into touch. McNamee. Morris will have put in on this line out. Abby Baratti, the senior, will put ball in. Morgan Andrews looks like the front jumper for Morris, facing off against Medorsky. Andrews, referee says not straight, so it's going to be an option for scrum or line it. And Downingtown chooses scrum. Referee is happy with the put-in. Scrum does collapse, but referee, now he has signaled it's a knock-on in the transfer. There was a lot of pressure on the Downingtown scrum half. Number 9. That's Ms. Cavage. The scrum was kind of collapsing back on top of her, so she was doing her best to dig it out. Unfortunately, just bobbled it in the transfer. So we have Mignoni with ball in hand. Big push by Downingtown. Scrum held solidly by Morris. Morris move it out the back. Weinstein. Petrucci getting a couple of meters forward. Morris really trying to keep that continuity, just get the goal forward. Unfortunately, that's a forward pass from Flaherty to Sienna Miller. Miller was slightly ahead as she received that ball, so it's going to be kind of a wasted opportunity for Morris. This one has been a pretty solid battle so far. We've had a lot of back and forth, a lot of phases. Big push in the scrum by Morris, but it ball is out. They've got some space. And good ruck. Good ruck by DJ Cordon, but unfortunately the ref seems to not want to let them play around the rucks. So he is calling tackle on pretty much everything, but each referee has their own style and so their own cadence. Downingtown have massive numbers on the outside. They get it out to Fogan. Frogan into contact. McGettigan sees a little bit of a space, tries to punch through. Morris trying desperately to defend in the corner. Downingtown looking to go off the base of the scrum, off the ruck, using their bodies, trying to get that push over. Big push by Morris, driving Downingtown back. Downingtown decides let's go to the back line, let's put it out to the speed. Frogan out to the wing. McGettigan off the base, trying to find the line. She's being held up. Medorsky tries to punch it in, and it looks like it's gone forward in contact. Actually, no, referee has changed it. The signal was knock on, but the referee says it actually was a try. Actually, no, I apologize. It's going to be a goal line dropout. So Morris held up. Morris kicks straight into touch. It's going to be right on the 22-meter line. It's been a very evenly matched battle. Very physical, very clean, good technical breakdowns and scrums, and some good ball movement out the back line. Downingtown puts the ball in. They've won it cleanly. Now it's unfortunately just knocked on in the transfer. Ruby Miscavige was just about to set that ball out to her trusty 10, McGettigan, and unfortunately it just dropped in the transfer. So Mignoni will have an opportunity to get Morris on the front foot. Out to Flaherty. Flaherty kind of runs into Weinstein a little bit, but she's able to get it out to Petrucci. It looks like it is turned over. It's going to be advantage for a knock-on to Downingtown. McGettigan tries to purse through. McGettigan gets the ball out. They have numbers on the outside. If they can get to that corner. Good defense by DJ Cordon, who's kind of been all over the place today. And McGettigan, big run right into contact. Big stop by Abby Baratti. And it looks like we're going to get the... Referee says it's a penalty for not releasing. And the lines are cleared by Flaherty. And it's not going to be too much left in this one, this half. Balls up. Downingtown seem to have... Referee is going to call for not straight. Or knock on. Actually, knock on. It's going to be a scrum to Morris. Mignoni with ball in hand. Takes a quick look to see where her support is. DJ Cordon makes a break off the base. High tackle, but she's okay. Still on her feet. Still maintaining possession. Driving forward. Ball's out to Flaherty. Flaherty gives it to Miller. Spreads it out to Kennedy Curry. Ball goes through the hands but goes backwards. Cleaned up by Curry. Out to Flaherty again. Weinstein sees a little bit of space. Out to Petrucci. Petrucci gets it out to the wing, out to Danya. Danya's cleaned up by Flaherty. Cordon has it. Actually, Petrucci has it. Just trying to get the ruck set. Now they're able to get it out. Baratti cuts back inside into traffic. Support is there. Curry gets in over the ruck. Mignoni spreads the ball out to Waymeyer, who a little pop pass to Sienna Miller. Just trying to break that Downingtown defense down. Mignoni out to Flaherty. Flaherty cuts back upfield. Miller. Curry. Unfortunately, it's knocked on in contact. It's going to be a Downingtown advantage. Out to McGettigan. McGettigan spreads it out to the wing. Back into McGettigan. McGettigan trying to stay on her feet. Out to Dixon. Dixon gains 5-6 meters. Akila Cathy just trying to truck off the base of the ruck. Keeping it tight. There's an overload. And they're in. So Downingtown gets the first points of the day. It's going to be 5-0. And that's probably going to be the half as well. So we'll see what the conversion is. So some really good rugby. A battle back and forth. The kick is going to be taken by number 8, Eva Maraki. Eva Maraki. Kicks up. Oh, just off the post. So that's going to be 5-0, and that'll likely be the half as well. Referee is going back to the center, so I guess we're not over yet. There won't be any injury time at all. Morris will at least get this started. Ball's up just over the head of Downingtown receiver, and it's won by Petrucci. Actually, sorry, it's won by DJ Cordon. Petrucci sneaks off the base, goes around the edge. Support's there. Ball's out to Flaherty. Flaherty skips Weinstein. Out to Curry. Curry fights to get back on her side, and ball's turned over. Big tackle by Morris. And it's going to be a penalty on Morris. Downingtown coach Oliver Snow heard to say, take your time, just tap and go, and then they booted into touch, so that's going to be the half. So really good half of rugby. 5-0 Downingtown for what was a ferocious battle, very, very physical, some good ball movement, and really good use of space by both teams. We'll take a little break here, and we'll be back in a few minutes. we're ready to get the second half going here. I'm joined by rugby aficionado and referee extraordinaire Adam Bernstein.
Hi, Brian.
Good to have you. You've ref both of these teams earlier in the day. What are you seeing that you're really liking in that first half rugby between Morris and Downingtown?
What I've noticed is, it was a little bit one-sided against PRUSA, unfortunately. Right, PRUSA?
Yeah, PRUSA.
A little bit one-sided. I know they have some really great athletes and some big hard hitters, but I feel like with Morris and Downingtown, it's just very disciplined. You can tell both sides are really well coached. It looks like they just know what to do when the ball's at hand. That makes a big difference and makes it a really even match.
It makes for a better flow of a game. You know, it's not as many penalties, not as many breakdowns. It's better continuity. Ball's up. Fielded by DJ Cordon, coming on at full speed. Takes a couple of players out. Works her way up to the half. Good work out to Izzy Nagel. Couple of bodies to bring her down. Support there by Barati. Yoni. Big hit after contact, but okay. Cordon gets up to halfway. Gives it to Weinstein, who breaks around the edge. Weinstein out to Trucci cuts back inside. And Yoni's there to get the ball out. Out to Curry. Curry into contact. Nagel takes it out. Miller. Few tackles, few hits after the ball is gone. On it to break around the edge for Morris and score. And that is Sarah Sakari, a new player from Japan. So nice series opener from Morris.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great ball handling, good passing there. That feels like the Morris that I reffed last year, and I've seen a few times. I was waiting for it to happen, and it looks like that was the time when it happened. It was, just good ball movement. I know two of my daughter's favorite players is Olive and Scarlett, and I see Scarlett's out there, and she made a big run, and she was able to draw a couple players and made a good pass, and that, I think, opened up a lot of space for the left side.
Not an easy kick. It's going to be towards the edge. Clarity has the distance, but not by any means. Solid strike. Just a little bit wide of the post. So that puts the score at 5-all. Off to a great start in this second half. Morris really came out strong, going into contact, kept the ball tight, passing was good, continuity was good, spread it out once they got the Downingtown numbers sucked in, and Downingtown will get it started again. Dorsky puts the ball up into the hands of Cordon again. Cordon works her way up. Takes 2 or 3 tacklers to bring her down. Yoni. Referee probably needs to look at those situations around the ruck. Those hits are coming in on the scrum half times.
Speaking from a official's perspective and also a scrum half's perspective, I know it's really tough. Sometimes you're taught to watch the ball, and you have to have your head on a swivel as a referee and see what's happening also after the play. And as a scrum half, you definitely don't like those late hits. It really messes with your rhythm too. But hard thing to call, but that's why captains are there to talk to the refs and say, hey, by the way, there's some late hits. Can you keep an eye on it? And it's just a little reminder for the refs that might be looking at the action and not thinking that something's going on behind. So that's where a captain needs to step in.
That's a very good point, because captains, in good old rugby tradition, captains are the ones that have those conversations with the referees. Kind of controls everything, close tempo, and referee says the ball has been knocked down. It's actually a penalty against Morris. Downtown here looks clear. Ball is in touch, so it's going
I think it was Sienna was the captain, I think, for that first match that I did. And yeah, the communication was great. She was able to talk to me. I was able to talk to her, and we were able to work out a couple of things. And it's always nice to have that relationship early on, for those instances. It's important. I know Mars has a little bit of a young team, but it's important that the scrum half lets the captain know, hey, some late hits, can you keep an eye? And then have that communication. I know as a ref, you really look for the dangerous part of it. I think the one before that was a little bit dangerous, but not that bad. Maybe could have played on. I feel like that one was, two back-to-back that could have been called high. I feel like the second one I might have reached for a card, but he has a better angle than I do. But a game like this, you just want to make sure of safety.
As well, right? So you want to make sure that if it's in the spirit of the game and it's not anything that where it's malicious, you kind of let it play on if you can.
Yeah, definitely a big difference between getting up high, releasing, and and staying up high and pulling someone down to the ground.
So it's going to be a penalty. It's going to be time off for an injury assessment. Looks to be Kennedy Curry.
I know it's a cliche to say, but it's definitely the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. I feel like both teams are like almost mirror images of each other right now, and it's really going to come down to the penalties. I think they're just so even. I know Morris traditionally is really good at jackling the ball, and they've only done it a couple times I think this match. So I give credit to Downing's rucking abilities and protection of the ball. Usually Morris is good for almost 10 of those a match. I mean, they're really, really good at it, but I think they've only been limited to like maybe 2 turnovers this time.
I will say, though, the referee is also controlling those blocks a little bit tighter than maybe other refs might. And each ref has their own style and how they run a game. And as long as they're consistent, that's all you really want from a referee: consistency and fairness. supposedly referees are human too. So Morris trying to work their way out. Their own half out to Barati. Barati goes straight into a double tackle, driven back. Support is there, Mioni's looking to clean it out. Flaherty runs back into contact. Mioni takes it herself. Ball goes to ground, but it's still available. Now it goes to ground again. Tries to clean it up, tries to turn around. Morris still maintaining the ball, but lost about it. Out to Flaherty. Flaherty puts it in the air. Ships it over the top of the defense. And now it's knocked on. So it's going to be a play on. Referee says it went backwards. Ball is available. Dorsey off the base. Referee is not allowing any hands into those rucks at all. He's saying tackle release every time. Out to Kathy. Kathy looks for the offload, decides to keep it close. Dorsey is showing support. Weinstein trying to drive her off. Downingtown trying to knock on the door. There's some backline, but it goes unfortunately through a couple of legs. Brogan cleans it up. Big tackle out into touch. Yeah, maybe 7 or 8. About 7 or 8 minutes left in this half. Trusty camera girl says 6-7. Then rolls her eyes. Thank you to Fred Weinstein on the camera and Kaylee Ahern. Just done some early camera work on the earlier games. So talk about the keys to this game. You know, it's all tied up at 5. Downingtown's been kind of keeping the pressure on Morris.
I mean, it's definitely been in Morris's half a lot in both halves. So having a 5-5 match is a great, great for Morris right there. But they just have to get out of their half. I know that kicking is sometimes works really great and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like if I was in this position, I'm not sure about how the kickers are for Morris, but I would try to kick into space like they just did before. If you kick into space, I feel like good things happen. But a bad kick, really bad things can happen. But, they had, I thought, from my view, it looked like it might have been a knock-on, when the kick was into space. But you just got to get out of your half, whatever way you could right now, and just put a little bit of pressure. And Downing, you got to hope for possession at this moment. Just keep that ball. Don't do anything risky, and do what you're doing right now, which is just chipping away, and there you go. Try.
So you can see Morris maybe getting a little tired. All of those attempts at the tackle were probably a little bit too high, and Downingtown just kept turning the feet. So Downingtown puts one down. It's going to be 10-5 and in a very kickable position as well. Morris circles the wagons and see what they can do after they get back to the half. Yeah, your talk on kicking there, you definitely want to give a defense another look, and if you haven't kicked at all, they really can pressure you with the fullback coming up fairly high, and if you're not going to keep them honest, it makes it tough. So kick is good. That's another 2, so this is going to be 12-5.
But yeah, you have to be confident in your kickers to hit that space. If it's a shank and it goes, right to a winger, like I said, a really bad thing could happen. But if you have the ability to do it, I know you're missing Olive, who usually sees that space and can kick into that space. And I know that's a big loss for Mars right now. But, I would use this as a time to kick. So I know it's a kickoff, and usually you would go short and try to put pressure on them. If I was Mars right now, I would look for any weak spot deep and kick it as far deep as you possible and run up on it and try to just play as much as the last 5 minutes in your half as possible.
Yeah, put it deep and high. Maybe you get a knock on and gives you a good advantage, a good positional advantage to attack from. Ball goes up and high. Goes over
That is perfect.
and it's heading towards the pylon.
Oh.
And Brogan picks it up. We're going to have a 22 dropout, I think.
Yeah, as far as I remember, and I can always just double check, and I know I'm going to sound like a bad ref right now, but yes, if the kickoff goes into the in-goal area and it's touchdown, a 22-meter drop, receiving team.
It didn't truly look like it was touched down. It looks like the girl picked it up and wasn't really sure what to do, so it's actually a good decision by the referee just to,
Again, it goes back to being fair. I mean, look at where the Morris has the ball right now on the 10, where the kickoff would have been if it was caught cleanly. So again, you want to keep it fair, but that was a perfect kick by Morris. It was great bounce. It just bounced a little too far.
Morris breaks down the sideline. That's Danya up to the 22. Driven off by Tori Waymire. Morris just trying to go through the phases, go through the gears, keep that ball moving. Unfortunately, it's a knock on and contact. The ball was just a little bit short on the pass, and it gave Downingtown a good chance to reset and just kind of slow the game down. We only have about 5 minutes left, so Downingtown was definitely going to kill the clock as much as possible. It's been a good battle so far. Cabbage was put in. Kathy breaks off the back. Downtown working their way up to the 10-meter line. They're just going to pick and go. Dixon. Morris trying to drive her out into touch. He's still staying in bounds, and it looks like we're going to have a scrum for... Actually, it's going to be a penalty for not releasing. Again, it gives Downingtown a good opportunity to move the ball down the field and take some more time off the clock. Ball stays in bounds, kept in by Mignoni. Mignoni cuts back up the sideline. Supports there by Miller. Bordon breaks off the base, rolls forward, takes a few girls trying to get her down. Waymire takes the ball at speed, punches a hole up to the half. Protected by Barati. Downingtown tried to get a foot into the rock, but the referee is going to play advantage. Out to Nagle. Nagle has support. Referee says playing advantage offside. Morris is going to tap and go. Mignoni directs traffic out to Miller. Miller does have support there by Waymire. Flaherty moving the ball out the back line. Into contact. And it's been turned over. Downingtown have the ball available. Out to Dixon. Tackled by Barati. Ball is out. Akil Cappy breaks a couple of tackles past the halfway. Downingtown on the front foot. Morris kind of scrambling to get their shape on defense again. Advantage for a high tackle. shoelaces. This gives a great opportunity downtown to put some more time in the bank.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a place to milk the clock a little bit. Possibly, I'm not sure if they're running it. I think an option would have been a line out also. Their lineouts have been pretty good all day, and it takes some time off the clock. But definitely not the position that Morris wants to be right now. They have a long ways to go if they want to make a comeback. But Downing right now just milk the clock. Don't even worry about a tries net right now. Maybe some pick and goes.
Downtown has numbers on the outside. Just knocked in contact, and referee says that Morris was offside. And Downtown takes a quick tap and punches it in. I'm not sure how Morris was offside in that position because the ball was in open play. There was no rough. It was a little bit of a strange call, but the referee is closer to the action than we are. But it definitely solidifies this as a downtown win. It's only maybe a minute or so left and down 2 scores. Very kickable position as well. Did you see anything there that I wasn't seeing?
We are a ways away. I didn't see from this angle. Maybe it was something that was just in another spot that we didn't see. I'm not sure what was communicated on the pitch. But either way, tough loss for Morris. Good for Downing. But I know Morris is a young team, and I know they're very well coached, so I'm sure they'll be back. And, it was I think, a really good match between both sides.
Kick was up by Dixon, and that's the second prop from downtown that has put points on the board from the booth. So really, really good match by both teams. It was a very clean, hard-fought battle, and I think both teams have a lot to be proud of. So thank you for joining us on the broadcast, and thank you for your referee duties earlier in the day.
Very welcome. It was fun.
Go home and have a nice malt beverage now for yourself. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching along at home. And if you like rugby and you like to support what we do, get in touch with EGRL. Thank you. Bye-bye.